Hello, welcome back to my channel Christian Faith and Fiction. My name's Lou and today I'm filming whilst on holiday in Cornwall. I'm in a caravan and it's sunny outside, so I'm sat in front of the window. You can see the kitchen behind me. Maybe I'll try and intersperse some more interesting views of the places we're visiting into this, but I'm going to do the 20 questions tag, I think it's called. But Celestria tagged me in this one, so I will do my best to answer the questions, probably in stages at different times. So thank you, Celestria, for tagging me, and I will link in the description her video and her answer, so you can go and check that out. The first question was, how many books in a series is too many books? And I quite like series. I like reading particularly interconnected books like in a series. In like fantasy series, 3 books is quite normal. Trilogy. It really depends on like how well written it is. Like if it's badly written and it's like spaced out too much, then I'd rather read 2 books than 3 books. But if it's really well written and it just like everything builds on each other, then I don't mind how long the series is. And I quite like if I get into a series and I know I'm going to like the author and I like the characters and like some of the like side characters. Like in a romance series, quite often you get the main characters and then you get like a side character, and then the next book is the side character is the main character and you get another side character, and it can go on for ages. So I quite like it. So if it's done well, it doesn't really matter, and if it's done badly, then more than 1 book is too many. So question 2, how do you feel about cliffhangers? Again, I think if it's done well, I really love them. I really love when you get to the end of a book and it's just like everything changes and you get a big twist and the thing is kind of resolved, but you don't know what's going to happen now because it's such a big twist. Like, I don't like cliffhangers if you get to a point and you open the door and then they don't tell you what's there. Like, you've got to wait to find out what actually was there. I don't like that kind of cliffhanger, but I like the big twist cliffhangers where things, just everything changes at the end of a book and it's going to have a massive impact on the characters and the story, but you've got to wait to the next book to read it to find out. And of course, if you haven't got to wait too long, that's the best thing. If you've got to wait a whole year, then half the time I've forgotten. So I totally get why people wait until all the books are out before they read the whole series of things. But yeah, no, I like cliffhangers when they're done well. Question 3, hardcover or paperback? I tend to read more audiobooks and ebooks recently, but paperback I would say is my preferred one to read, in that I like them to be a bit lighter, easily to carry around, easy to hold in bed. Hardbacks, I really like to own hardbacks. The cover always looks kind of better. They look better on the shelves and things. Yeah, I don't know. I tend to go for paperbacks more. Question 5, your least favourite book. I think Celestria said Wuthering Heights, and honestly, I'm with her on that one. I tried to read that one about at least twice, maybe 3 times, and got about halfway through and threw it across the room in one occasion. Made me so angry. Possibly the worst book that I have read is Gone Girl, which I hated the ending to, absolutely hated, and cannot stand that ending. So I disagreed with it on so many points. I did not think that was the way the author was going to go, and
They were before, weren't they? They had quite a big sort of yeah.
So question 6, love triangles, yes or no? Again, I'm going to say it depends if it's done well. I like some love triangles. Like, I and I don't like others. Like, I don't like it when one of the main characters can't choose between two different people, and he plays both of them off against each other, and just kind of is keeping two people going at the same time. And I don't like it when people cheat in relationships and it's just seen as okay and there's no consequences to that. I don't like that. But I do like it, like Pride and Prejudice, for instance. There's like a love triangle in that between Elizabeth, Mr. Darcy, and Wickham. But at no point is she like in love with both of them. She likes Wickham. She's kind of deceived by him. Spoiler alert. And Mr. Darcy likes her. So there's a three-way thing going there. And actually, a lot of Jane Austen's books are like that. Sense and Sensibility is like that. I can't tell you why because, again, spoilers. But yeah, I like it when then there's kind of one character is mistakenly thought to be something that they're not, and there's a kind of mystery involved with that. Yeah. Question 7, the most recent book you just couldn't finish. Honestly, I don't know. I have had a habit of starting books, reading a couple of chapters, and then putting them down again and not picking them up because I'm just not in the mood for them. But that's not quite the same thing as not finishing a book. I started, what is it, 1984? Yeah, 1984 by George Orwell, and I don't know if I'm going to finish that one. I put it down a while ago, and I read a fair bit of it, but I don't know. It's not striking me as really exciting at the moment. I wanted to read some classics. Yeah, I might end up putting that one down completely forever. Question number 8. A book you're currently reading, and I've got this one with me, is To Save a King by Rachel Hawke. This is the second book in that modern royal family story, and it's a contemporary romance, but set in a kind of a made-up kingdom in Europe. Question 9. A book that you recently recommended to someone, and I recently recommended Once Upon a Summer to my mum, and she's read that, and that is a collection of 4 novellas, contemporary romance novellas, based on fairy tales, loosely based on fairy tales. Question number 10, the oldest book you've ever read in publication date, and well, I guess the Bible is probably the oldest that I've read. Other than that, maybe Pilgrim's Progress. Not entirely sure when that comes out. I'll put it on the screen. I'll put on the screen what the publication date was for that. Question 11, the newest book you've read by publication date, and that would be Secrets in the Mist by Morgan L. Bussey, which just came out this summer, and I finished it beginning of the month, and that was great. It'll be in my recent reads video that's coming up at some point sometime. Okay, so I'm back at home now, so I'm going to continue with the questions from here. I can't remember where I got to. Number 12 was your favourite author, and I'm not sure if I can pick exactly one. The authors that I've read the most of would be Agatha Christie. In my 20s, I read almost all of her books. Charles Dickens, I read almost all of those books, and Roald Dahl was probably one of my favourite authors, as well as C.S. Lewis, when I was growing up. My favourite newest author to me, I've really enjoyed Morgan L. Bussey's fantasy books that I've read so far. Question 13, buying books or borrowing them? I like to own books if possible, but I also like to save money. So if my library had more Christian fiction books or books that I would like to read, then I would definitely borrow more, but it doesn't. So I try and get them in other ways as cheaply as possible, where possible. So I tend to buy books more than borrow them. Question 14, a book that you dislike that everyone else seems to love. Well, I don't know about everyone else, but I think Celestria really likes this book. So sorry about that, this series, but I did not get on with Chuck Black's series, Kingdom's Dawn. I've only read the first book. I don't plan to read the rest of the series. I just didn't get on with it at all. I didn't really like the style of it, found it a bit too fleeting. So maybe that's because I'm reading it as an adult and not as a child. I think it's probably meant for a younger age group than me. Number 15, bookmarks or dog ears. I think I used to dog ear books more when I was younger, and certainly books that I read go to a lot, like a non-fiction book that I want to go back to, continually go back to and read. I might have done that, but yeah, recently in my adult stage of having bought the books myself, definitely bookmarks. I like my magnetic bookmarks because they don't tend to fall out. But yeah, I don't like dog ears on books, except occasionally when I do. 16, a book you can always reread. Well, again, I'm going to say the Bible because that I've read that one the most. But then I have a whole list of books that I listen to go to sleep at night. So I reread those over and over again. They're on a playlist. They just play through, and I set it to a sleep timer so that it switches itself off after half an hour. And so I've re-listened to those books over and over again. There's quite a lot of Agatha Christie on there. There's children's books on there. There's some classics on there. So if you're interested in seeing the list of books that are on there, most of them are not Christians. I don't think there are any Christian fiction books on there. They're just ones that I'm really familiar with. But apart from that, I've reread The Lord of the Rings quite a few times now. And obviously I've been reading through the Chronicles of Narnia this year. 17, can you read while listening to music? Depends what the music is. If it's got words to it, then no. I can't read without when there's any other kind of voices around in my near to me, because immediately I switch onto the voice and not onto what I'm reading. So I can read with instrumental music. I tend not to. Maybe I should try again with that. I've tried reading with like thunderstorm sounds and things like that, especially if it's quite noisy. I might drown it out, the other noise, with my own choice of noise. I can read in like cafes and things when there's like loads of people talking at the same time, but not if I can hear anybody else's voice distinctly. So generally I read in silence. 18, do you prefer one POV or multiple POVs? And that means point of view. And I prefer books with multiple points of view. Usually in romance novels get two. You get the man and the woman, their point of view. I quite like it when there's more than that. I like fantasy novels where you're getting lots of different points of view and different stories in different places. I like books with dual time periods, so you're getting one character story from the present day and one from the past. I like that kind of interesting dynamic of different people and different voices. I think it breaks up the story quite well, and I can read books with just one point of view, but sometimes they can be really boring. So yeah, I prefer a bit of a break between at least 2 different characters. Number 19, do you read a book in one sitting or over multiple days? Well, unless the book was like 10 pages long, I am never going to be reading it in one sitting, because I take quite a long time to read. Like, I could not sit for 12 hours and sit and read a book. That would just not happen. I tend to read in about 1/4 of an hour slots at a time. Yeah, I do not have the patience or the stamina to read a whole book in one sitting. I like the idea of it, but I don't think my body would like it at all. I think I would get really bad neck ache and backache and eye strain, and my brain would be frazzled. So no, I don't enjoy it that way. I would prefer to split it up over time. And question 20, who do you tag to do the questions? And I'm going to tag Steph from Ink and Page and Sierra from Sierra Trotter. And I'll link those channels down below, as well as Celestria's original video, so you can go and check that out. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that was interesting to you. Let me know down in the comments if you've got the same opinions as me or different ones. And until next time, I will see you again. God bless. Bye.